fall not too far away, even if it may not feel like it.
It's getting closer. I mean, officially fall starts in, I think in just about 2 weeks is when we have the equinox. So it's getting closer. I mean, we all know how it works around here. At this point of the year, we all start to get, those of us that are fall weather lovers, you're getting pretty antsy. It's usually a slow grind to get into real deal fall weather. You know, we still have our hot stretches. We're not done with the heat either. Of course, our last several afternoons have been toasty. That's going to continue for a while. We are tracking at least one cold front by the tail end of the weekend that will help our temperatures cool off for at least a couple of days. More on that in a second. Here's a look from Jinx. Blue sky, a little haze on the horizon. As I mentioned earlier, you may notice that haze, and some of that is some elevated up in the upper atmosphere, some smoke from the fires out in the western United States. Temperatures right around 70 degrees in the metro and pretty much all of eastern Oklahoma. We're pretty uniform on that, low 70s in southeastern Oklahoma. Straight into the forecast for the next day or two, very little, if any, change. We're just holding steady here. Upper 80s in our eastern counties, 90 to the low 90s from about Highway 75 to the west this afternoon, including the Tulsa metro. Tulsa high of about 92. There's still that very, very small chance for a pop-up shower in southeastern Oklahoma, but not as many as we've seen the past several days in our southern counties. Tomorrow morning, back in the 60s. I think tomorrow will be a little cooler in spots than we have been the past few mornings. About 60, Pawhuska, Bartlesville, Veneta. Some of the valley locations, I think briefly will drop to the upper 50s. Tomorrow afternoon, looks familiar, doesn't it? I think we may bring the highs down a degree or two tomorrow. That still put us in the upper 80s to around 90. The metro will be a little bit warmer. So once again, that major heat dome off to our west has been causing all the just record-breaking heat in the western United States and not helping their fire situation. That upper level flow will change in the days ahead. That little low pressure system to our south and east starts to move away. There are impacts in the tropics. Hurricane Earl in the Atlantic is going to stay in the Atlantic, may kind of brush by Bermuda in the next few days. And then Hurricane K in the eastern Pacific. Not going to be a landfall impact necessarily, but as it kind of comes up the coast of Baja California and it weakens off the coast of southwestern California over the weekend, that may bring some rainfall impacts to areas that do need it. And in the southwestern, far southwestern kind of California, in those areas by later in the weekend into early next week. If nothing else, it's just something to kind of carve away this heat dome that's been plaguing them for the last several days. That ridge of high pressure eventually slides south. So we take a look at the jet stream here and weakens a bit. This is why a strong upper level trough develops in the northern United States, comes swinging into the Great Plains. That drives a cold front into our region Saturday night or into Sunday morning. The timing still fluctuating a little bit, but by Sunday morning, we'll be feeling it, it looks like, if not before then. And that'll cool us down for a couple of days, but just a reminder that it is still officially summer, right? By the middle of next week, as we lose the influence of that front, that upper level ridge starts sliding into our region, which means by past the middle of next week and on, may start to get hot again across much of green country. So steady as she goes here through the end of the week. Mild mornings and a little toasty, a little hot at times in the afternoon, but just a couple degrees above normal. Highs in the low 90s through Saturday. Saturday night, Sunday morning, unfortunately, the rain chances aren't great with that front. A slight chance for showers and storms, but a nice cool down. We drop the highs into the 80s Sunday and Monday, lows in the 50s Monday morning.